Guys, welcome back again. Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel that is your home for tech, toys, and talk. And of course, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. If you notice, I got my Spengler, my HASLAB Proton Pack here. Been doing some modifications to this, and that's what this video is kind of about. Now, I added, if you guys can see, I added a charging port and a switch here. Now, I previously, on Dave's Dimension, when it came to upgrading the Proton Pack, I got a nice little small component called a Keep Alive board, or Stay Alive board, however you want to call it. And I got that through FrankenGeek, and I'm going to have the previous video about that in the link below, in the video description below, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. FrankenGeek's an awesome modder, or I should say mod creator, actually. He has been making creations, been making modifications or mods that you can purchase yourself for the Spirit Halloween 80% scale, and now the full 1-to-1 scale Spirit Halloween packs, along with regular Proton packs, and even now the HASLAB. Now, just to go over a few things here, the only things I've really done so far is, well, I added a little bit of tape here. I did try to add a little bit of dry brushing silver argent. I'm looking at possibly getting some rub and buff to add to a few spots. Now, eventually I do plan on replacing a lot of different grommets. I have replaced this hose already, but I'm going to be replacing it with another hose that's going to mimic this hazard pattern that I love. Okay, now, other things I've already done is, well, we put in that board, and now I have this Keep Alive. Now, what happens is when you turn the pack on, after a few minutes, it cuts off. Not anymore. This will keep running consecutively with no end as long as my battery is fully charged. And that's the other thing. I have a charging port right next to this. Okay, right here. Now that charging port is because I disconnected the battery compartment where you would put 4 D batteries. Guess what's in there now? I bought myself a Talon Cell power bank, and that's now inside the pack. So that's going to be charging this. So literally, this can run for a couple days without needing a charge. Pretty awesome. There it goes, cuts off. And there we go. I also have some other mods coming through the pipeline. A few that I got from Moby Signs, and I'll do a review of that when it comes in, and you guys will actually see me applying it to here. Now, another mod I want to do is, you guys notice there's some let me get some better lighting here. There's some copper, or what looks like copper wiring that goes from here, and then above here around the clip art. This is a clip art. Now, these little fake rubber wires go up to here, and they actually unplug, so you can disconnect them. Well, I don't really like that. Why? Because one, they can pop out, and two, it looks a little, and this is just my personal opinion, they look a little cheap, right? So, what am I going to do about that? This is what I'm going to do. Now, a good friend of mine and fellow Ghostbuster, Merritt Long of the Buffalo Ghostbusters. This is a mod that he has done himself, but many other Ghostbusters out there are doing these mods, where they're actually replacing. You can see up there, there's like a little bit of a gold piece. He actually replaced the fake transistor with the real one. Real wires connecting everything. He's putting real elbow connectors on here, basically replacing all the Hasbro wiring with wiring that he's gotten himself. And if you notice here, he's got the connectors towards the top tube right there. And then he's actually put proper clips here. Proper non-insulated ring crimp terminals, as they're called. And he did it with some cap head screws. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can get a better look. So yeah, he took the time. I think he had to drill slightly bigger holes for the screws to go in here, but these are all permanently on the pack now. No more of that fake rubber wires coming out. It's staying on there, and it definitely gives a more realistic look to the pack itself. He's also redone the wires here. The wires going from the cyclotron, which is the round dish right there, if you will. You can see the multicolor wiring going into the loom, which goes into that hazard stripe hose that he has going on there. He literally has replaced everything with real pieces. So that's just one thing that he's done. Now, I myself, that's what I want to do. I saw his pack at Nickel City Con, blew me away. So I said, you know what? I got to do this. I need to do this. So that's what I'm going to be doing with these. However, now with all the mods that are out there, I was hoping to see if maybe I could come across someone who already has this maybe pre-made, or they at least give you the parts so you can assemble it yourself. I've only found one source on Etsy. Now, this is the only person who's doing that set. Now, they do the set, I think, for around $36 unassembled, but you get all the pieces and you can crimp them and cut them and, install it yourself. Or he has it where all the wires are already cut to length. You have the connectors crimped on it properly, and everything is all said and done. The one that is not completed is around 36 and change, and the one that is completed, I think, is around $49 or $50. And then there's the shipping, because this person is out of the UK. I'm not faulting them. They have a shop on Etsy, so they're actually, they're trying to run a business. But the 36 plus another $16 or $17 for shipping, and then New York State sales tax here is 8.75%. I would be in the area of about $60 to get the unfinished. And then if we're looking at the finished one, I'm still looking at about, close to $70. I did not feel like doing that. So what do we do? The dangers of trying to record when you have a window open. Somebody needs a new muffler. What can we say? So I'm ordering this for two reasons. So $12, I can get a whole set of those wires. Okay. I mean, take a look at that right there. I mean, this is your atypical, 16 gauge wiring. You can use it for multiple purposes, but I liked it because you get a wide variety. We have black, we have red, we have white, we have green, we have yellow, we have blue. So I can choose whatever colors I want out of that. If I want something to be a little bit more, different, I can just simply go to, I can simply go with red if I wanted to, but I already have a lot of red on the pack already. So I may go with green, or I may go with blue. I'm kind of leaning towards blue, but we'll see what happens. Now, that's not the only piece. We needed these. These are the ring crimp terminals, okay? As you can see, there's already a picture right there. Let me just see if I can get back on that picture. See, this is kind of what we need. Now, you go to most hardware stores, most Home Depots, places like that, you're going to see the ones that have like a little colored rubber or plastic around the bottom part. That's for insulation, okay? We don't need them to be insulated because there's going to be no current, no electricity passing through. Again, this is just for prop aesthetics. So I wanted it to get as close as possible. So I'm going to order this assortment kit. As you can see, they have different sizes here. These smaller ones are going to be the ones I'm going to need. I need at least 20 of them. So we should have that there. And if I have the extras, maybe I'll use the extras for props in the future, But again, and you're going to need pliers or crimpers to really get them to hold down, because you have to use some pliers It's called crimping, where you're forcing the little doors, if you will, the metal flaps here, to condense and fasten on tight onto those wires. Okay, so I'm getting that for $10. This wire set is $11.99, and then I'm getting these little clamps. Now these, they call them vacuum hose, but a lot of people will call them spring clamps. They're usually used in automotive and piping scenarios. Now, I only need 6mm, which is not that big at all. So I got a set of these for $849.99. So before tax, $31.47. $31.47 for the parts, and I'm going to have plenty of extras. So I'm going to have extras for any of my friends who are going to be doing the same kind of mod on their packs. I'm going to have extras for them. They're like, hey, you guys need the parts here, just come pick them up. You know, I'm not going to charge them. But I mean, this is something where, you know, you go in, this person on Etsy, and I am not faulting them by any means, but, you know, if I can source the parts myself for just under the price of the uncompleted set, and I'm coming in saving like another $5 or so. So, I mean, I'm doing well. Before tax and before shipping, I'm still coming under sourcing all those parts myself directly. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So we're going to do that mod. So I did find these parts on Amazon, and if you want, I will link these, or at least these current pages, I will link them in the video description below. Now, over prolonged periods of time, these vendors may not still have these parts in stock anymore. So you may have to do some searching yourself, but I will have all these. I will have the URLs in the video description below in case you are looking to do this modification yourself. Now, going back to the pack here, they already have existing holes here. These pop right out, just like these do up here, and it's just going to be a matter of basically screwing those new cap head screws for the bottom here. And I believe these are button screws that they use on top, but you can still use a cap head screw if you want. Depends on the look you want to do yourself. Now, with that being said, once I do everything, I am going to do a video showing you guys me actually putting the pieces together and putting it into the pack. Now going back to my buddy, Merritt, his pack, let's pull that back up. Oh, that's the wrong one. Now, going back to his pack, it is a nice, clean look here. Now, what I might do is, now with the drilling, now I can open up the pack again, and if I see the screws come through, what I can always do is I can always top them off with a little bit of hot glue on the other side, or even some epoxy if I really wanted to. You know, I always tell, one thing that I've learned through many of my friends who've done mods themselves, when you're drilling, don't go with the same size as the screw. Start smaller and work your way up. One by one by one by one by one. Work your way until you get a good snug fit. Now, if it's still not snug, that's why I'm saying if I drill through and I can see the screw come all the way through, I might just kind of top it off with a little bit of hot glue on the inside to hold them in place. Mind you, I'm not going to be disassembling this all on the regular. I'm going to be keeping everything in the spot. Now, if you notice up here, he did go with the button style screws, but then we have the cap head screws right down here. Let's see if I can zoom in. These are the cap heads. They look like a cap in case you're not familiar with it. He still has the stock clipper. It looks like he replaced the screws here. I am half tempted to go with a real one. Now, if you notice here also, the other wires on this, the other connectors, the brass pieces, he replaced, because on mine, just to show you guys, On mine, there are these little rubber pieces that come right out. Now, this is good. These are good for if you do cosplay and you travel. You can disconnect all these hoses and put them in like a Ziploc bag or something like that. If you're afraid of pieces falling off while you're traveling, that's always something you can do. But he ran real wires through here. I think he placed another hose slightly over this one and actually had real wires coming out. And the same thing with this. He replaced this with actual wire looms going all the way from the inside out. He replaced the transistors here. Let me see if I can get you to, there we go. So this comes right off. Okay, he went with real pieces, so he doesn't have to worry about those rubber parts coming off, just like the elbow piece here. And this transistor here, he replaced those as well. I mean, there's a lot of things you can replace, like even these up here. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do that just yet. What I might do is, at first, I might actually paint these parts. I mean, this right here, this right here, they're okay. But what he did was, going back to his picture, because his is definitely the picture of perfection, at least in my eyes. He's a good friend and all, but still, I mean, he did an amazing job here. Like I said, you can see different size hose he went over, and he actually has wire sticking out, giving it a more real look. When he replaced these, he replaced the proper hose, red wire, and then he put the electrical tape on there, giving that more realistic aesthetic right there, and it looks bloody fantastic. It looks marvelous. Now, he went with like either dark brown or black wires here, and the little silver clips I showed you guys, that's this right here. He's got one here, there's another one here, and then another one down here. So you need 3, but then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18, 19 screws, looks like right there. Because he has, what he did was, now the picture I saw of someone, they had one wire going to one connector and then 2 wires going to another connector, but he doubled up here. Because you got to think, these are, okay, you don't have to copy someone identically. You don't. It's your prop. You do what you want with it, okay? And he definitely has rewritten the book on his. He made this his own completely. Now, one thing you have to take in consideration when doing this kind of a deep mod is, okay, now when if he wants to take everything off, he wants to take the bumper off with the shock mount right there, and he wants to open up this, the lid to the cyclotron, he's going to have these wires are still going to be perpetually connecting to here. That's just something that, you have to do. If you're going to do something like that, it's going to be a permanent fixture to the cover. But still, it looks amazing though. I mean, again, I got to zoom in on this. I mean, from a prop perspective, this looks friggin' amazing. And when I saw this, I was like, dude, you're killing me. I'm gonna have to steal this now. I have to borrow that. I mean, I gotta take those ideas and give it my own little twist. I mean, he's got a nice little, real elbow connector right here. He connected the hose. He added a little bit of red electrical tape right there. He makes it look fantastic. He made it his own. And that's the thing about prop making, guys. You don't have to have, you don't want 5 people to have all the same thing. You want to add a little bit more flavor to yours. That's why I want to try and get a little rub and buff and do it in a few spots and then hit it with clear coat to kind of seal it. Now, the original grommet pieces right here, I'm actually just going to pull this right out just so you guys can see. I mean, they have the faux red electrical tape on there. I say faux. And then we have a couple little hose clamps. These are meant to be hose clamps here. I can get the actual hose clamps if I want to do this, but I mean, just take a look at that. Okay, this technically is supposed to be a brass color, So I'm going to take some gold and I'm going to hit it with gold. And then I'm going to maybe do some faint weathering or maybe try to make a wash to go over it. This piece right here, it should be a little bit of a lighter gray. But I mean, I get what Hasbro was doing. They were smart that, hey, you can disconnect this. You can do whatever you want. We can do some pieces on here, but it's going to involve cutting off. There's a little tube piece right here. We would have to cut that off, drill into the frame of this a little bit, maybe use some epoxy to get the actual elbow part into there. So that is the thing you can do if you want to. You don't have to. You know, like I said, I'm going to do the paint first and see how well that works. It may just be the thing that comes out. And don't worry, guys. I'm going to show you a video of me trying the paint and see how well it comes out. If it comes out great, awesome. We can move forward with that. If it doesn't, then we'll look at getting the real pieces because I already have. That's right, guys. I've already went ahead and I've sourced all the real parts I need on Etsy. There's a lot. There's a few different shops I like to go to for the actual pieces. Like, for example, we'll go right here. These are those brass pieces I was just talking about that go on to the side. So I can get those easy. Those are not a problem. And this is actually through... Let's see here. Yeah, GBHQ Parts Depot. This is, honestly, if you're a Ghostbuster, they are your go-to source for real transistors. Any of the real parts and hoses, wires you need, this guy has it. Whether you're doing Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife, you need components for your ghost traps. They have everything here, and I swear by them. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just a customer of theirs, and I've never been done wrong by them. They always ship fast. They have fair pricing on these items. If you go anywhere else, you're probably going to be paying 2 to 3 times more, at least. Now, the little hose, the ribbon cable fastener here. Now, on mine, I still have the stock one from Hasbro. And what I did was, I just took a little paintbrush and a little bit of silver argent, and I went up and down, and I got a little bit of weathering in there, and it looks the part perfectly. I might get the real piece, because I am going to be taking this off, because the real piece, actually, this is just like a little C hook, so to speak. Like, I can just turn this and this is exposed. The real one actually clamps around, as you can see in the previous picture. It actually clamps around and the screw fastens right in, so you're not going to have any wires coming loose. But with this, you do. So that is one thing to keep in mind, guys. I know this is a little bit of a long video, but I mean, work in progress. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, is he out of his damn mind taking apart a HASLAB and modifying it? No, because it's not a HASLAB, it's a proton pack. If you're a Ghostbuster, if you're a regular Ghostbuster cosplayer and you're a fan, you know there's two things that you never stop doing. You never stop collecting Ghostbusters, and you never stop working on your proton packs. I mean, I need to do a little bit of work on my Ben and Ken pack. It needs a little bit of loving. It does. Who knows? Maybe I'll modify that into a Afterlife pack. It could happen. And I wanted to do a little bit of work because this one, I plan to wear this one quite a bit. Halloween is coming up. It's September. Well, Halloween season is upon us, and that's usually one of the busiest times of year for Ghostbusters. But yeah, that's where we are. We've got a lot of stuff coming up ahead. We're going to do some work on the lenses. Little work on the barrel. Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. And it's not going to be, you're probably thinking like, Dave, are you crazy? No, these are going to be very simple mods. We're not disassembling the entire pack. These are, some of these things take 5 seconds to do. Really. You guys will see. So guys, if you liked this video, give me that thumbs up. If you didn't, let me know in the comments section below. And of course, guys, if you ever want to reach me, you can always reach me on Instagram at Daves_Dimension. You can always email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com. And of course, if you feel so inclined and you want to help us out financially, we do have a PayPal that you can also reach us if you want to donate to the channel. You can always do that. I will be honest, things have been a little tight, a little snug. We haven't been doing any hunts, and I've been kind of scrounging some ducats so we can afford a few of these mods that we're doing here. But you know, it's not required, but always greatly appreciated, guys. So, guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying, keep on busting. And you know what I'm gonna say. I say it every single time. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care.